Okay, so let's go. First question. Tell us something about yourself.
Okay, so I think we should start by telling you a little bit
Yeah.
about ourselves.
Sure.
You go first.
My name is Paul. I'm Paul Bushell, a psychologist. I'm also the author of the book #Raising Kids to Thrive in a Constantly Changing World. And I am a partner in crime in the Kindness Can movement with KZN Sweetheart, Jane Denny Thomas.
Oh, you're kind. So I've been at East Coast Radio. Am I looking into this camera? Is that fine? So I've been at East Coast Radio since 2003. And why? Because of stories and because of you, really. Because your joy is my joy and your heartache is my heartache. So for us to come into a company like Ignition and be a part of your lives in just a small way is like such a huge
exciting
gift,
Yeah,
right?
so exciting.
I mean, the way in which we kind of hooked up was so serendipitous. It was
Yeah.
universal.
Yeah, I kind of hunted you down a bit, I
He
think.
stalked me. I was like, who is this weird person asking me to do the forward for his book? But yeah, he asked me to do
Yeah.
the forward for his book.
And Jane was very kind to say yes, and then a whole lot of emails followed that, and here we sit, ready to deliver our first campaign on kindness.
Yeah. And we are so passionate about kindness. Why? Because it's a choice. And it doesn't matter what your living situation is or what car you drive or any of the kind of knickety-knackety nuts and bolts that we get so like caught up with in society. Like kindness is something that can be used and facilitated and called on anytime. And we always say like it's so easy to be kind on the sun while lying on the beach, but it's when you are at the cashier asking for small change for the parking meter because you've lost your parking ticket and your
And your
child
kid is crying.
is crying, your husband is phoning you, you are overwhelmed. You can't even deal with your own.
Yeah.
Kindness, kindness, kindness.
I think it sounds so simple when we say it sometimes, but it has the potential to change people and the world, and it's small acts that take practice.
Yeah.
Practicing it. That's the joy of it. We can all get better at it, and that's what we hopefully here to deliver on.
And he's very clever. He can help us. He can help us through the woods.
Wow. What a great question.
What was the first time you ever experienced kindness?
Goodness.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind for me is my grand sweet tea.
Yeah? That's
She
a
lived-
beautiful memory.
I
It's so
know.
sensory.
I know, and
Hey?
it was at a home in Durban North. They lived in Humber Crescent, and I remember I had my own little plastic mug, and I just remember feeling very delighted.
Yeah.
Sweet tea.
Yeah. I've kind of got this, and memory is such a funny thing because it's often linked to photographs,
Yeah.
I suppose. And I've got this picture of myself. I must have been like 2 or 3 dressed as a clown. But I remember it.
photo here.
I
Yeah.
dressed this cute little clown.
Hello.
And I remember just it being such a kind, happy experience. All these kids dressed up. And I can still picture me and the little clown.
Sweet,
Yeah, so
I love
cute.
you.
Yeah. That's kindness.
It
Hey,
is.
that's kindness.
It is.
And it stays with us for a long, long time.
And I think that's
Yeah.
what's so interesting about being kind is that it takes so many shapes.
Yeah.
It's kindness to colleagues and friends and the environment and to your body and to your mind and to the people that you follow on social media and the things that you watch, and it's like a little mushroom of delight.
Yeah. And I think a lot of kindness, and maybe that's what hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about along this campaign, a lot of kindness starts with us first. It's a lot of those conversations and those acts that are happening inside of us to ourselves that can really change the motion of kindness.
I mean,
I
let's
really
be
want to
honest,
spread that message.
Self-talk
Yeah, self-talk.
can be like lethal.
Those conversations that are happening inside of you, check them before they kind of wreck you.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Absolutely.
That's not our words. We used that from somewhere.
We heard that
Somewhere. What's
Oh
the-
my god. Jane and I have got plenty stories of driving places together and then phoning each other being like, where are we?
No,
I'm lost.
Let me set it up. Hold on. So what's one of the funniest things? Whenever we drive anywhere. So I'm always lost. I get lost at Gateway. And I usually follow Paul wherever we go. And this particular day he was following me and I didn't know he was behind me. And we were driving to an appointment and I had a couple of times on my sides. TikToking talks, and I took a little offshoot to go somewhere else.
And I was like, let's go with this. Jane's got a plan. I trust you.
I was on my way to
trust
the
you.
Puma warehouse and realized I didn't have enough time and took Paul on a 25-minute detour of Durban.
Best tour of Durban ever. What an amazing city.
And
Love
I
it.
phoned him on the Bluetooth and I'm like, listen, I'm running a bit behind. He's like, I'm behind you.
I'm following you. I'm with you. I've got your back.
So we're a bit of a comedy duo
Yeah.
when we're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think lots of time. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any inspirational quotes or mantra that you live by?
Affirmations.
So
Such an
let's set it
important
up.
part
Let's set it up.
of
So
our lives.
do we have any affirmations or mantras that we live by?
Yeah. All the time. Every day.
Which is our most common?
I think things like you're enough. I think that's a really, really big one for me. Just constantly having to try pull back some of those nasty thoughts as they run away, criticizing, comparing, judging myself, and just kind of really going back to that center that I am enough.
Yeah.
That we are enough. I think that's really powerful for me.
And I think for me, I wear the letters around my neck because it's something that I really want it to be on my headstone. Jane Lindley Thomas
Absolutely.
was kind.
Yeah.
And I think being kind is, as we've said, like you can do it anywhere at any time. And you know what's so amazing about kindness is it's so flippin' contagious.
Yeah.
Because if you're kind,
an avalanche.
if you're kind to somebody, you always say, like Brené Brown, right? It's hard to
Absolutely.
be ugly to somebody up front.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah.
When you're looking at someone, how do you be mean to them?
So
That
social
takes
media,
takes
you
a lot
can
of stuff.
bang away on your keyboard, but when you're actually sitting with someone and you're actually experiencing them, just be kind.
Be kind. Yeah, so simple.
So simple.
Are you enjoying this vibe?
I am.
Is it okay? How's it
Like,
looking
are
on?
you on
How's it
talk
looking
show?
on the film?
But even better than gin and tonic. Jokes. Not jokes.
So if I was the CEO of a company, what thing would I make compulsory, and what thing would I ban? Compulsory?
Confetti guns on everyone's desk. Absolutely.
Shoot that kindness around.
You got to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rock on.
Prerequisite. Confetti gun on each. Or cannon.
Yeah.
Cannon.
Big
Cannon,
ones.
yeah.
Big ones.
Big ones.
Sparkles.
Yeah.
Confetti.
You?
I'm going with the guns on that one. I'm backing you. What would we ban?
Bad attitude. Get out of here. Jokes.
Yeah,
Not
sad
jokes.
faces.
You know what's interesting is, and we'll talk about this more, is like you can either belong, there are two camps, and you can either be in the survivor camp or in the victim camp. And I find being in the victim camp is just a world of trouble. Like if you come into the office or go into your life feeling victimized, you bring with you such a hard day. It's a hard day. Whereas if you feel like you come in with, I think it all goes back to attitude. If you're coming into your space or into your life with an attitude of, I can survive this, I am big enough for this moment or this experience. So I would say bad vibes.
What's a big part of that actually? I think what I'd ban is conditions or situations that made it hard to ask for help. Because actually all of us have sad faces some days, and all of us have hard things going on at home, but to be able to make that shift from this hard thing going on into survivor and thriver, we've often got to ask for help. So I'd kind of like ban anything that made it hard to ask for help.
And being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And now we're going on a tangent, excuse us. But I mean,
This is exciting.
It was just yesterday that I spoke to you about my son. My son is 8 years old and he cried for me at school because he missed me. So when I spoke to Paul about it at the end of the day, I was like, my initial conditioning by society is boys don't cry, old school. And what does this mean? If other boys see him crying, then he'll get bullied. And I went down that whole rampage of being fearful.
You want to go in there and just rescue.
And then I was like, whoa, hold it up. I'm so grateful that my son can show emotion.
Spot on.
Right?
Yeah, well done for the hold up.
So, it's taking learning and being conscious to this whole process of actually harnessing the moment and saying to him, I'm grateful for your heart and that you have a well of empathy or whatever that emotion is, but you need to maybe cry in the bathroom, write me a letter, bring it home, and we can then unpack it together.
Cry with me.
Yeah,
Cry with me.
And I'm
Hey?
too, bro.
So, making up. As a response, start with a feeling. Okay, so I know what you feel, I know where those tears come from. Immediately a person feels safe and like they can open up. and then have the conversation. What can we do to make this feel better for you, so that you don't have a negative consequence to it?
Yeah.
Those are the kind of conditions we need to see in the workplace.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I would do if you and me were
Absolutely.
CEO.
With a confetti gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, who does these questions? We need this human in our life more.
Yeah.
How would you describe the color yellow if you couldn't see it? You would feel it.
It feels like. It feels like the sun on your skin.
Or a hot cross bun. I don't eat hot cross buns, but something warm that's come out of the oven.
With like beautiful, delicious butter on it.
Or cinnamon smell.
Yeah. What does it smell like?
Granny's tea.
Granny sweet tea.
Kindness.
My little clown hat was yellow.
Oh, yeah!
Hey, clown hats, clown hats.
Okay, awesome. And then people often feel their lives are so busy that they don't have time to bring positivity into their lives. What one thing can someone do each day to bring a little bit of positivity into their lives?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to ask you the question? I'm going to ask you the question.
Okay.
So, I mean, we touch on it briefly, like it's easy to be kind when the going's good. But what would you say to someone that's maybe watching this now and just feeling like, you know, maybe things are not going well at home, or maybe there's issues with children or finances or health?
Yeah.
What kind of tool or something that you can grasp onto to just kind of start? Because as we know, positivity and kindness is momentum based. So the more that you do it, the more it happens.
Yeah.
So what one thing?
You know, we talk about this all the time, and it's become a big part of our work. But I was walking yesterday on the promenade, which I haven't done in forever, and I suddenly realized that no matter who you are or how familiar you are with these sort of practices of kindness, or how in touch you are with yourself, it takes practice. It takes constant practice and reminding that this is good for me. So I think it's a big part of it is slowing the moment down and realizing that actually I do have 2 minutes to just sit quietly by myself, close my eyes, and go through an affirmation that really works for me. And it doesn't have to be long and complicated and take away time from all these other really important things in your life. But I think practicing and not giving up on that practice is a big part of it. Yeah.
And there's so much to talk about. I mean, when you start unpacking things like the need for something, or differentiating between need, want, and desire, or differentiating between fear mode, being driven by fear. And these are all things that we hope that we can unpack in the weeks coming forward. But these are huge, big black boulders that stand in the way of you getting to the other side, where the vista is sometimes very cloudy and cold. But when the clouds start to separate and you start to actually see a clearing, that's when that moment of, oh my gosh, I have control over this.
Wow, what a powerful moment for so many of us, when we actually realize that we do have more control than we think. We have the power to slow this down, stop it, rethink it. When working with kids, I often talk about traffic lights. So when feelings start to become big, the color we associate it with is often red. And when you come up to a robot and you see the red light, what do? You stop. You stop.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you start to feel that red light feeling in you, it's about just learning how to stop. And the orange light is all about thinking, beware, going through what your options are, and then taking the green light. And that doesn't have to take a lot of time, and it doesn't have to be complicated.
Green light.
Green, okay?
Green
Before we
is
get to
good.
green and we say yes, every now and then we've got to just stop, pause, and reflect on it. So exciting. Hey, can't wait to have these conversations with all of you over the next coming months. Cool.